Now, it's The 4 on WCCO with Aaron Hassanzadeh and Jeff Wagner.
We are now reaching the 4 o'clock hour, and the flakes are still flying a bit. This is a live look at 35E at University Avenue near downtown St. Paul. And you can see lots of pavement on the highway, but the way that camera is shaking lets you know the wind is still blowing, so you want to take it easy out there. Our third day of storm coverage begins now. Thanks for joining us on TV and streaming on CBS News Minnesota. I'm Jeff Wagner.
I'm Aaron Hassanzadeh. The worst of it is over. The bulk of the snow we were tracking fell overnight, leaving quite the mess to clean up. I'm sure you've run into it yourselves. Our next weather promise to you is to keep you in the loop with the latest. So here it is. Snow emergencies in several cities are well underway. Minneapolis and St. Paul are in phase 2 of their emergencies.
It's important to know your city's parking rules. In St. Paul, nearly 700 vehicles were tagged last night and 243 were towed.
At MSP International, more than 240 flights have been canceled today and dozens were delayed.
And travel is still not advised in southwest Minnesota, but one encouraging sign, several highways in that area are reopening. Be sure to check your route if you have to drive today. We have team coverage on this snowy day. We have crews out in communities around the state, but we begin with our next weather meteorologist and the latest on the storm. Mike?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, the storm is over, but our next drive alert now continues through 6 p.m. The next weather alert, because the impacts from what's falling, they're over. Now the impacts are from what's on the ground combined with the wind. So through at least 6 o'clock, keep in mind, crews are still cleaning. The snow is done falling, but it is still blowing around. Winds will diminish somewhat as we go through the evening, but there's still enough of a wind, particularly in open areas, to cause some drifting and some lower visibility. Nothing like what we saw this morning or last night, though. And temperatures are still falling. In fact, we're really going to bottom out as we go through the overnight tonight with sub-zero lows on the way, and you know that makes things chemical-wise on the roads a little less effective. Snowfall amounts from South Metro to North Metro were whoppers, 20 inches in Apple Valley, almost 17 inches in Burnsville. Egan, and about 2 miles northeast of downtown Minneapolis, we had close to 17 inches of snow. Oakdale in the East Metro, 15.5. Officially at the airport, that was the low spot at 13.1 inches of snow. More snowfall reports here from the weather watchers include 20.2 at Larry's house in Faribault, almost 20 inches at Mark's Place in River Falls, 19 inches at Kathy's Place in Blaine. Gary and Clear Lake Township reporting 18.2 inches, and Bob in Rochester reporting 18 inches of snow. These are all your neighbors, and we have hundreds more that have their eyes on your neighborhood around the region. Coming up for the rest of the evening, we'll be sharing updated snowfall totals, but right now we want to take a look at what's next, and for that we'll talk cold with Chris.
Yeah, Mike, I think Larry is like massaging his arms right now down in Faribault. Woo, that's a lot of snow. Yeah, typically what happens after these storms is cool air will stream in from the northwest, and there's what it's going to be like tomorrow morning when you check out the thermometer, when you wake up and reach for that cup of coffee. Cold. We haven't been below zero here for a while, and 6 below, we're on the lucky end in the Twin Cities. Many folks will slip back to the double digits. Here's the problem. There'll be just enough wind left that watch the feel factor as we head through the night drop like a rock. Likely feeling like the teens below zero tomorrow morning here in the Twin Cities and near 30 below in a few locations. In fact, at times, some may dip to 35 below for the feel factor. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued a wind chill advisory. You see it includes about 3/4 of the state. The good news is the cold air doesn't last long. We do warm for the weekend. Aaron and Jeff, brace yourselves. We have a couple more chances of snow in the forecast. Nothing like what we endured. In fact, one will be mild enough we could have some rain mixed in.
Well,
seems like we could handle it. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Well, the snow came down fast and furious early this morning in Hutchinson. Well before many of us were up, city workers were busy moving snow. Our John Lauritsen has been in Hutch all day, and he joins us now with a look at how they're dealing with the fresh powder. John, you have seen them digging out all day long.
Yeah, Aaron, like you said, after several more inches of snow fell in Hutchinson last night, this lot near downtown has become Grand Central Station, so to speak, for snow removal. When we began going live here at 7 o'clock this morning, there wasn't nearly this much snow, but trucks keep dumping it here, and that bulldozer you see right now, he keeps moving it to make more room, taking a little break right now, but they've been very busy out here. At least the snow is done falling, but it's the wind that's keeping people busy.
We're just doing everything we can to get caught up and get our customers freed up and out of their houses.
Doug Best is the owner of Best Contractors in Hector. With skid loaders and snow blowers, he and his crew made the trek to Hutchinson to clear driveways for 77 homeowners in this association.
It's been busy, and it's good for the snow removal business, but at the same time, spring is coming, and we get the mow lawns with all this moisture.
Well before sunrise, truck after truck dumped snow at a site near downtown. The city and snow removers have been able to take care of homeowners and businesses, while also taking care of those who need help when temperatures plummet.
We always try to plan ahead that way, and especially long weekends that are going to be irregardless.
Bev Bonte is with Common Cup Ministries. They work with 31 churches in the area to make sure those less fortunate are taken care of when storms hit and school is canceled.
We have a weekend backpack program that we help kids that are on free lunch. We got all of our bags. We have 200 kids that we help.
Clearing the snow in and around Hutchinson could take a couple days. That's why some people here go on an improvised spring break. At American, families pay $7 to swim for 3 hours. It's even more enjoyable knowing that just beyond that window, it's a frigid 10 degrees and dropping.
It's nice and warm.
I feel way warmer now. I had my bibs and my jacket on and my long underwear, and there wasn't enough layers.
Yeah, definitely. And it's estimated they got close to a foot of snow here in Hutchinson. Of course, now you can see the snowmobilers coming through. They're loving that extra snow. But out here in McLeod County and west, it's really going to start blowing. It actually has been blowing through most of the day. So that'll be something to deal with. Also, Aaron, talking about school, it's been canceled the last couple of days. Ridgewater Community College, just up the road, also canceled today. 3M, a big employer in town, they did not have workers come in this morning. Some returned to work this afternoon. So a busy day when snow hits like this because it changes a lot of things, and now it's the wind that they're dealing with.
Yeah, sort of a snow day for adults, too. Thanks, John.
If you live in the South Metro, you got the worst of the storm. We saw totals close to or more than 1.5 feet in Farmington, Apple Valley, and Lakeville, which is where our Adam Duxter has spent the last 2 days riding out this storm. He joins us now live with how things are looking in that area. Adam?
Yeah, Jeff, I don't know whether we should be saying congratulations or I'm sorry to the people that live here in the South Metro as for them getting all this snow. It really depends on how you look at it. The folks we talked to today say they really don't seem to mind.
Through the quiet, machines sing and work in harmony.
This is what I live for.
A sweet symphony for Chris Donahue.
It's white gold. The joke is always, plow that snow, make that dough. So we're making money and we're having fun doing it.
And while most people stayed home, Mark Meyer and Bill Larson aren't most people.
It's Minnesota. This is Minnesota. You got to take it as you get it.
The 16 inches Lakeville got could be a pickle for a 1,000-person tournament, but these guys...
This is exactly what I had envisioned when we had a tournament in Minnesota in February.
...are instead having a ball. And as the snow stopped, the work started.
Everyone wants to second-guess school officials or the forecasters, but I think proof is seeing what we've got out here. They were right.
At least for some people.
They give me the easiest homework, and I actually don't have to go to school and actually learn about stuff.
Who ended this storm with advice.
What should people at home know about this snowstorm? All right, yeah, tell me.
It's cold.
The whole thing can and should be fun.
And it certainly has been fun at points the last couple of days, but I think for now, folks are focused on getting those driveways cleared and then getting back to life as normal come Friday.
And special thank you to the person you found who wanted to thank our meteorologists for their forecast. We appreciate that, Adam. All right, we're going to send it over now to Derek with a look at your next drive.
Yeah, it's been more spinouts than crashes, Jeff, as we've gone through this afternoon. This is the latest one. This is on 212 between I-94 and Prairie Center Drive. We've got that spinout there on the left side of the screen right now. You can see we've got a crew already trying to work to get that one out. So this is going to get cleaned up in the next couple of minutes. It's really those secondary roads that are of most most concern. As we take a look right now in Blaine, where Mike just told you about all the snow totals that they had there. This is 65 and 105th Avenue. You can see how covered in snow 105th is for folks getting off of 65 there. They're definitely a slow go. But then you see those clear roads here in St. Paul. This is I-94 and John Ireland Boulevard, and you can see the sun there as well, kind of bouncing off some of the roadways, and things are looking pretty good overall. For those that do have to drive over the next couple of hours, just be aware that there are going to be some spots that are a little bit slick. Statewide, though, we're seeing more roads become either normal or partially covered over the last few hours. And you can see all of those orange dots. Those continue to be those plows that are working hard across the area. And even southwest Minnesota, roads that were travel not advised or closed have now moved up to either completely or partially covered. So we are seeing things improving here, especially over about the last 2 hours. We do want to take a look now at some of the crashes that we saw over the past 24 hours. State Patrol reporting nearly 70 crashes, another 70 spinouts, plus since 7:30 this morning. In many of these crashes, as you can see, speed appears to be a factor. One driver crashing into those cables there in the median, and that really helped prevent that crash from being much worse. And we've been talking about how slippery those roads can be. This driver lost control, and look how close it was to having another accident. A really close call there. But of course, we'll continue to monitor things here tonight and bring you updates throughout the evening. And of course, tomorrow morning too. Jeff and Aaron, it could be a little sketchy out there, so make sure you're with us starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
People get ambitious when they see the clear pavement a little bit. We've got a reminder to slow down.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Well, clearing all this snow is a hassle, but it's not all bad if you have a little help, right?
Here's one of our favorite viewer videos showing that help. Christina Suter sent us this video of her pup Blaze, who picks up a shovel and gets to work. And that's how you clear the snow at their home in White Bear Township. Impressive training. I feel like other owners are thinking the same thing right now.
These two caught our eye this morning. Shayla Reeves met these pups outside the studio. They were enjoying the new snow, shuffling around, having a bit of fun. A reminder that this type of weather isn't all about work. It can also be a good time. And speaking of dogs, coming up.
We're going to introduce you to some Minnesotans who are finding the best in today's weather. Go get them both.
Plus, an update from the airport. It was chaos at Terminal 1 yesterday when the storm was really coming into view. What operations are looking like today? Live from downtown Minneapolis, you're watching The 4 on WCCO.
It's not like the good old days.
It's not like the good old days.
It's not like the good,
It's not like the good old
days.
Stop parroting everything. Instead, drink a Red Bull and think for yourselves.
Since when do you dictate what we do?
Exactly. You're not the boss of us.
Power to the people! Oh, well. Individuality often complicates things.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Get help reaching your goals with JP Morgan Wealth Plan, a new tool in the Chase mobile app. Use it to set and track your goals, big and small, and see how changes you make today could help put them within reach. From your first big move to retiring poolside and the other goals along the way, Wealth Plan can help you get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
COVID-19 and being overweight makes it more risky. I'm calling my doctor. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Having even one risk factor, like being over 50, diabetes, or smoking, increases your chances of severe COVID. Taken within 5 days of symptoms, Paxlovid reduced the risk of developing severe COVID-19 by 86%.
Paxlovid may strengthen or weaken other medicines. Taking it with certain medicines may cause life-threatening side effects or affect how Paxlovid works. So it's critical to tell your doctor about all medicines you take, including herbal supplements, because lab tests or changing the dose of your medicines may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have any serious illnesses, allergies, liver or kidney disease, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, are breastfeeding or use birth control. Paxlovid may affect how your birth control works. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, liver problems, and issues with HIV medicines. Other side effects include altered taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, and feeling unwell.
With my asthma, I knew it could be riskier. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist if Paxlovid is right for you.
We're back now with a look at your next drive. Want to update you on that situation here right now. This is 52 at County Road 42. This is right there near Coates, right on the line there. And you can see there we've got a vehicle that's spun out, and they're already taking care of it. And the cars nearby are getting over to that right lane and getting out of the way. So that's the good news. And we've noticed with some of the spinouts and accidents that have happened today, people have been heeding the advice of State Patrol, not getting out of their vehicles, staying inside. We had that really bad accident with injury where someone got out of their vehicle in Eagan yesterday, and we don't want to see that happen as we continue to have some trouble on some area roadways. But all in all, looking at the metro area, it's not bad at all. And when we look statewide, not seeing a lot of major problems. More of the roads now, especially across the Twin Cities and locations south, in that shade of green, switching over to normal, which means those plows have done a really good job. And we're also seeing some partially covered roads here indicated in blue. Fewer completely covered roads, and that's going to continue to be the case now that the snow has stopped. But keep in mind, those plows still have to run because in many cases we're going to have that blowing and drifting of snow across some of the roadways. So we'll keep an eye on things. Still a next drive alert until 6 o'clock for anyone that's going to be heading home here over the next couple of hours. Aaron, Jeff?
Yeah, slow return to normal. Thanks, Derek. Well, the snow, it can be a hassle.
Of course, we all know that. But as Susan Elizabeth Littlefield shows us, it can also be beautiful.
We're here in Blaine, what would normally be on a summer day, a golf course, TPC, a pretty famous one at that. But you can see everything is still around here. It's kind of like the world just paused when you look around. I hope you got a chance to pause today. Now, this is the kind of day when you want to send pictures, you want to make posts for friends who live in other parts of the country so they can kind of see what we are going through. There's a lot of beauty in this, and it's kind of fun to just take a minute, even if you don't go outside, if you look through the window and just try to absorb it. There's also a lot of beautiful things going on with humanity. Sandy, you don't have to be out right now. Why are you out?
Because I love snow. To me, this is fun. I shovel for the exercise and just to be out here.
And you guys have been not just doing your property.
Yes, this is our neighbors. They're in Arizona for the winter. And we volunteer to do it for them because we're just right across the street and it's just easy to do. So.
But there's some work to it.
Well, there is work to it, but gets you outside. I think it keeps you healthier.
We got to see more of those gestures of giving. We're going to have more of that story at 5 o'clock today. And just remember, even though you live in Minnesota, Wisconsin, these days are rare and they can be precious. In Blaine, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO 4 News.
We've been watching the Minnesota DNR's Eagle Cam for more than a week now, and look at what we saw this morning when we checked in. A huge pile of snow on the eagle's nest, and just the eagle's head was popping out until that eagle broke through the snow, and at last check, the eagle was sitting on 2 eggs. Another one arrives, takes over the duties to keep those eggs warm. It's a 2-person job.
It is. Mike, I think a lot of Minnesotans felt like the eagle overnight. The snow just kept coming. They're like, yes, I'm going to just surrender to this and sit inside with my blankets.
It's pretty, for sure, as Susan Elizabeth showed us. It came at a decent time. A lot of the heaviest snow fell overnight. Of course, that was a lot of work this morning, and perhaps you split it up into 2 parts. And so if you do have to head out later this afternoon or this evening, here's a look at weather conditions for your evening round of cleanup. Temperatures are going to be colder than they were this morning, actual air temperatures this morning were closer to 17 or 18, and wind chills were in the single digits above zero. Coming up from 5 o'clock through 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock, temperatures are going to be falling, and wind chills will be falling as well. It will feel like it's below zero that entire stretch, with some moonlight and even now a little bit of sunshine. Then we get a little bit of a break. And then we have probably a little bit of cleanup that you'll need to do before you can get your weekend plans underway. We'll talk about that in a second. Want to show you a little more widespread selection of snowfall amounts out there. Again, MSP Airport, Egan, those were some of the lower totals, and we still had over a foot of snow. In terms of the higher amounts, we're talking 18 to 20 or 21 inches on the top end of the scale. And for days, we had been telling you would be in the 15 to 20 range, and that's exactly where we ended up, with just a few exceptions. So Mankato, 18 inches of fresh snow out there. Cambridge, 17 inches. Savage picked up 16, just shy of 15 in the East Metro at Stillwater. Wyndham, 13.9. And again, MSP Airport as of noon today, 13.1. We may have added another 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of snow after noon, but for the most part, the snow, as you well know, was on the ground by the time you woke up this morning. More sun the farther west you go, but there is a clearing trend in our future as we head through the overnight tonight, and that will set us up for a very cold night, already below zero in Marshall, Fargo at -5, 0 in Bemidji. Visibilities have improved significantly in most areas, but not everywhere. We still have some blowing snow in Rochester and in Eau Claire and in Grand Rapids, where there is nothing falling from the sky. It may look like it, but that's actually snow being lofted into the air by some, well, they're still pretty gusty winds. They're not as bad as they were last night or early this morning. And that's because low pressure is pulling away. As that happens, the pressure gradient, which drives the winds, relaxes. And as we head through the evening hours, as temperatures plummet, winds will drop off as well. And that will save us from having widespread wind chill warnings. But we do have pretty widespread wind chill advisories, especially in the western 2/3 of the state of Minnesota. That excludes most of the Twin Cities. But there, wind chills could be as cold as 30 to 35 below as you wake up tomorrow morning, and that means frostbite on any uncovered skin in 15 minutes or less. Overnight lows tonight, well, the average is now up to 16. I saw that earlier today. I was very distracted, as you might have realized, with the storm the past several days, and I looked at the average low for tonight. I did not quite realize that it had climbed as quickly as it had. Just a couple of weeks ago, the average low was around 10. Now the average low is 16. Our average high is approaching freezing, but this will be a cold stretch. Down to -6 in the metro, teens below zero to the north and west, 20s below zero in the Red River Valley. And the winds will be lighter, but they're not going to be light enough to prevent this from happening. Wake up wind chills tomorrow morning from 15 to 20 below in the Twin Cities and 25 to 35 below in parts of western and northern Minnesota. Tomorrow, 12 for the high. That ain't great for this time of year, but it is going to come with a little bit of sun. And by the second half of the day, particularly in southwestern Minnesota, it's going to come with a little bit of snow as well. This is not going to be the storm we just went through. But by 7 o'clock, some snow showers here in the Twin Cities tomorrow evening. They'll start sooner to the south and west and a little later to the north and east. I think they're done in like 5 hours or so. But we still will likely have a little bit of accumulation on the ground by Saturday morning. This will be light and fluffy, so you'll be able to use the broom or the leaf blower, I think. And then as we go through the weekend, it's just weather, honestly, to enjoy what just happened. Near 30 both days, sunshine. 35 Monday, that ensures that we'll likely get at least some sort of mix. And that's a storm we'll watch because there will be some communities in central and northern Minnesota that could get enough snow to have to shovel. But I think here in the metro, it still looks like more rain than anything else. Cold rain at that in the next week in the 30s, so close to average.
Yeah. Not ready to put the shovels away just yet, though.
No, keep them out for at least another month and a half, 2 months.
Keep them handy.
That's such a Minnesota response. Yeah, 2 months. That's, basically April.
It's half the year. You need to have your shovel around.
Got to keep it real.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Want to take a live look now at St. Paul. Sunshine on a snowy city. What a beautiful way it looks right now. We get to report from the ground on how Minnesotans are weathering this post-storm cleanup and having a little fun in our capital city.
Phil and his cave twin over there, both very into their new tools. Merrill's got tools and insights to help Phil choose investments in today's markets. That's just a rock.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
I'm Lindsay Vaughn, and ever since I retired from skiing, I've had trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. You know, insomnia. Before I found QVIVIC, an FDA-approved insomnia medication for adults, you would not believe the things I used to think about when I couldn't sleep.
Hey, Lance. I need you to sign this business contract, all 114 pages.
Lindsay! Hey, Lindsay, it's workout time.
Hey, big man, we're in the middle of something here?
Yeah, it's called physical fitness.
Just a couple dozen more questions, Lindsay.
Don't forget to pack your phone charger for tomorrow morning's flight. It's plugged in, right over there.
Insomnia can impact both my days and my nights.
Let's go, Lindsay.
That's why I take QVIVIC nightly. QVIVIC can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. And more sleep at night may mean feeling less tired during the day.
QVIVIC works differently than medication you may have taken in the past. QVIVIC is thought to target one of the biological causes of insomnia, overactive wake signals. Do not take QVIVIC if you have narcolepsy. Don't drink alcohol while taking QVIVIC or drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully alert. QVIVIC may cause temporary inability to move or talk or hallucinations while falling asleep or waking up. QVIVIC may cause sleepiness during the day. QVIVIC may lead to doing activities while not fully awake that you don't remember the next day, like walking, driving, and making or eating food. Worsening depression, including suicidal thoughts, may occur. Most common side effects are headaches and sleepiness.
It's QVIVIC. Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
There's only one thing better than the Philly cheesesteak. The Philly cheesesteak breakfast burrito. That's sliced ribeye, roasted peppers, onions, melty cheese sauce, and fluffy eggs, all wrapped in a fresh tortilla. Bite into the new Philly cheesesteak menu. Download the app and join My Rewards for exclusive offers.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Rothy's, that's more like it.
Today is all about digging out, but there's also some fun to be had in this type of weather.
That is the case in St. Paul. Our Caroline Cummings has been covering the city throughout the storm. She joins us live. How are people doing out there, Caroline?
Hi there, Erin. So earlier today, we went down the road to Como Park, and it was really completely still. We didn't see anybody out. Everybody's still inside from the worst of that storm. But as the afternoon wore on, we saw more people get out and about and have a little fun with their family, friends, and even some pets, too. So most everyone we met today had a big smile on their face. That's probably because they weren't shoveling at Town and Country Club. We found a group of middle schoolers who were nonstop sledding down this hill. We also met a family taking advantage of this snow day to be together. And then, of course, the dogs love this light, fluffy stuff. We found a few running wild at High Bridge Dog Park in St. Paul after the snow stopped falling.
I love it. I mean, if you just get a good pair of muck boots, you're good to go. You can walk anywhere. You can off-road anywhere you want.
I love winter. I'm a Minnesota weirdo.
Do you like the snow, ma'am? Yeah. Do you like it?
It's all right.
She says, yes, I do like it. I do. Give me a little kiss. Can I have a little kiss? Mwah. And good news for you if you like cross-country skiing at Como Park. It looked like there was a trail made there for you. Also at Phelan Park, we hopped over there earlier and we also saw those trails. And I just got to say, Boz, my dog, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry I hung out with other dogs and not you today, but it really was a dream assignment for me to go to a dog park. So I'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah, you have some explaining to do later, Caroline. Thanks for that update.
I do.
Well, when the bad weather rolls in, one of the first places to feel the impact, of course, is the airport. How operations are moving today after a tough 24 hours.
Plus, a look back at the snowstorms of the past, what we've learned about handling the hurdles as we press pause on normal life.
I was always the competitive one in our family.
till my sister signed up for United Healthcare Medicare Advantage.
Wow.
Now she's got a whole team to help her get the most out of her plan.
Wow.
With coverage that's better than ever for dental, vision, prescription drugs, and more.
Advantage me.
Can't wait till I turn 65.
AARP Medicare Advantage plans, only from United Healthcare. Take advantage now at uhc.com/Medicare.
My asthma felt anything but normal. It was time for a new normal with Nucala.
Nucala is a once-monthly add-on treatment for severe eosinophilic asthma that can mean less oral steroids, not for sudden breathing problems. Allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Infections that can cause shingles have occurred. Don't stop steroids unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May cause headache, injection site reactions, back pain, and fatigue.
Ask your asthma specialist about a new normal with Nucala.
To you, it may just be an elevator.
Here goes nothing.
But for a young homeowner becoming their parents, it's a learning opportunity.
Come on in. The more the merrier. Paris, huh? Bonjour. We got any out-of-towners in the elevator?
Tom, it is not easy.
10th floor, huh? Must be a heck of a view.
Okay, see how everyone else is facing this way?
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Okay, that was terrible. Okay, let's hang back. We're going to try that again.
Nicorette knows quitting smoking is freaking hard. You get advice like, just stop. Go for a run. Go for 10 runs. Run a marathon. Instead, start small with Nicorette, which can lead to something big. Start stopping with Nicorette.
The biggest games require the best blocking. Cisco blocked thousands of cyber attacks on Super Bowl 56 last year, and we're proud to protect Super Bowl 57. When the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
Let's go to the swings.
Mom, look, a clown.
If ocean spray can make a juice drink with only 1 gram of sugar and still keep all of that powerful flavor, then I can do anything. I can overcome my fear of clowns.
Well, hello there.
What will you do with all that power?
In a Kinder Bueno world, the Mini are mighty. Crispy wafer and creamy hazelnut filling in an action-packed chocolatey bite. Ah, it's a Mini made for the big screen. When Kinder Bueno Mini meets movie night, life gets bueno.
Now, it's The 4 on WCCO with Aaron Hassanzadeh and Jeff Wagner.
Hello and welcome back to The 4 on WCCO.
Our next weather alert is over while post-storm cleanup ramps up.
More live reports ahead, but we begin this half hour at the airport.
This week has been tough on travelers. Hundreds of flights were canceled yesterday alone, and today, some hope at MSP International. Our Marielle Mose has the latest.
What a difference a day makes. Almost all the flights here at MSP this afternoon and into the evening are scheduled on time, which is a huge improvement from yesterday when almost every flight was canceled. This is what MSP Airport looked like at this time yesterday, almost eerily empty with over 500 flight cancellations. Compare that to today. Long lines for security and tons of people checking bags for most likely warmer destinations. For these travelers who have dealt with all the delays and cancellations the past few days, they welcome the crowds because it's a good sign.
Because it means that the flights are going out and that our flight is hopefully on time.
I'll eventually get to Vietnam and I'll eventually forget about all this snow for at least a month. So looking forward to that, yeah.
Majority of the cancellations that did happen today were in the morning. A few of them can be expected to be sprinkled throughout the afternoon. And of course, you can expect delays still because of de-icing. So come to the airport with patience. At MSP, Marielle Mose, WCCO 4 News.
Mike, no question about it. This was a tough couple of days for travel, whether it was by air or road.
Yep, and this evening won't be great either, but things are improving, and that is definitely good news. Start you off, Jeff, with a look at the winter alerts, which there are still some to the north of the Twin Cities and in northern Wisconsin. Winter storm warnings and even a few blizzard warnings that are partially being impacted by lake effect moisture until 6 o'clock, but these will drop off after that. And you can see there is a reason to still have those in place. We have lower visibilities because of some blowing snow. Nothing is falling from the sky right now in Grand Rapids or Duluth, but we do still have that snow being picked up and blown around. Same thing here in Fargo. And let's focus down to the south into west central Minnesota. Appleton, 3/4 of a mile visibility. Again, there is absolutely nothing falling from the sky. That's just all snow that's on the ground being picked up and blown around. Here in downtown Minneapolis and in many areas, we're starting to see some breaks of sunshine. Temperatures are going to drop like a rock, though, over the next 6 hours. So if you do have evening plans to get out, do a little additional cleanup, about each hour, we're going to lose a degree or so as we head through 10 o'clock. So we go from 12 in the next half hour to 6 by 10 o'clock tonight. And for a look at where we bottom out, because this is going to be some of the coldest weather we've had in weeks, we'll toss it over to meteorologist Chris Schaefer. Chris?
Yeah, Mike, we were just talking about that. It's been 3 weeks since we've fallen below zero. It's been fairly mild since our very chilly start to the month. So here we go. We're falling back to 6 below, which is cold, but it's hard to complain about that when you look up in northern Minnesota, and Grand Rapids will bottom out at 17 below, Alexandria matching that. That's bad enough. You factor in just enough wind that's causing the visibility issues Mike just talked about, and it could feel like this tomorrow morning. Make sure you find the hat and gloves. You don't want to get frostbite, and you could do so in about 15 minutes on exposed skin. That's why the National Weather Service has put out this pretty widespread wind chill advisory. At times it could feel like 35 below. It does include parts of the metro there. So bundle up is the bottom line. Here's some good news, Aaron and Jeff. I hate all the doom that we've been talking about with heavy snow and wind chill advisories. Mike's going to tell you about a nice weekend coming up.
Our streak continues.
It does.
The reward.
4th in a row now.
Yes. Well, some of us have been left grumbling about the storm.
Yeah, but for others, this particular weather event has been handled better than ones in the past, as May Murphy explains.
Right here in Bloomington, just like they are all around the state of Minnesota, people are cleaning up and clearing out the snow. This gentleman right behind me said he had everything all cleared, and then the snow plow came and plowed him in, so he's digging that part out right now. Now, overall, we talked to a couple of important people about how they thought the storm had been handled. We talked to the State Patrol. We also went to the St. Paul Public School District for an example of a school district, and we also went to MnDOT. And overall, they are saying that the handling of this storm has been pretty good. And the reason is that people actually listened to all the warnings and stayed home. So I'll have a full report on that coming up at 6 o'clock on WCCO TV.
Much more to come on the storm and snow, but we do want to get to a few other important headlines today. To begin, shootings that left a TV news reporter and a young girl and a woman dead in Florida. Authorities say a 19-year-old man shot and killed a woman he knew in a home yesterday morning. Hours later, he shot a TV news reporter and photographer covering that very shooting. 24-year-old reporter Dylan Lyons died. A woman and a 9-year-old girl were also shot inside a nearby home. The little girl also died.
This is every reporter's absolutely worst nightmare. We go home at night afraid that something like this will occur.
I want to acknowledge what a horrible day this has been for our community and our media partners.
The news photographer and the mother of the child are still in the hospital. We misspoke at the beginning. Both are in critical condition. No word on a motive behind the shooting.
Disgraced attorney Alex Murdaugh took the stand in his own murder trial today. He denies killing his wife and son, but admits he lied about the last time he saw them alive. He's charged with shooting and killing his wife and son on their South Carolina property in June of 2021.
I wasn't thinking clearly. I don't think I was capable of reason. And I lied about being down there. And I'm so sorry that I did. I'm sorry to Mags and Pawpaw. I would never intentionally do anything to hurt either one of them.
Murdaugh faces 30 years to life in prison if convicted. Prosecutors believe he killed his family to buy time to cover up his financial crimes.
Still ahead here, a Chris Schaefer special. He meets with one of his pop culture favorites before a big performance here in Minneapolis.
And our next weather coverage continues with the latest on the roads and how communities are dealing with bitterly cold winds and blowing snow.
Sinh ra đời ngày anh 40 em cũng vừa đôi mươi tình đời nhiều lúc kia may cuộc đời nghìn đắng từ cây vui đó giờ đây khi em còn trong nồi anh đã lo việc.
In today's Money Watch, business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to help.
How do you even begin to make the best use of your money?
If you've got a match from your employer, don't give away that money.
Dollar Jill, y'all.
CBS Mornings, starting at 7.
Let's go. Lock down, go.
It seems like only yesterday you were just a child at play. Life is brief,
You might like that one.
but when it's gone, love goes on and on.
If you have psoriatic arthritis, Enbrel helps relieve joint pain and help skin get clearer, so you can say, I'm in. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu. Enbrel.
This is how Peloton does after hours.
Are y'all excited to be here?
In the early evening with a mug of hot tea.
You're damn right.
With the one, the only, me, Cody Rigsby.
All right, y'all ready to dance? Now, friends, this is a talk show on wheels full of pop culture obsession, celebrity confessions.
So pop, lock, and side-eye, boo. This is gonna be an LOL.
Are y'all ready? Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's take care of each other. Do a little more good. That's what we want at United Healthcare. It's why we have Dual Complete, a health plan that offers people on Medicare and Medicaid more benefits and support than you'd get with Original Medicare at no extra cost. It's our way of doing a little more good.
Our next drive alert continues as we still have some slick spots and some spin outs for the commute tonight. This is 52 northbound between Upper 55th Street East and I-494 in Inver Grove Heights, just clearing the latest spin out there. So let's take a look at Minneapolis. This is a live look from I-94 at Lyndale at the tunnel. Everything is moving pretty well there. You can see a lot of the roads are clear. You can see the sunshine is out as well. Let's take you to the big picture, and you can see that mostly green. That's the good news for those that are going to be on the roads tonight, either because they have to or they want to venture out into this. Just take it slow. That's the advice that I gave to my wife. The kids still have tennis and Rogers tonight, so things appear to be getting back to normal here and improving across the area. We'll give you the latest numbers here, and this also shows that folks did a pretty good job of driving here today. From 7:30 this morning to 3:30, State Patrol reporting 69 crashes, just 6 of those with injuries. Now, this is statewide. 76 spinouts or off-the-road situations, and just 1 jackknifed semi. Now, we still have that next drive alert for a little longer, Jeff and Aaron, but it looks like things are improving, and hopefully folks that do go out will just take it easy tonight.
Well, good advice to the wife there, too.
Yep.
Thank you. Let's go back outside for a live look at conditions. Our Reg Chapman is in North Minneapolis, where community members have really been playing it safe today, Reg.
They really have, Jeff. I tell you, the blowing snow and drifts almost a knee-high made many Northsiders just stay inside and take it all in, and that's what many of them did. They just took it in the beauty of the fresh snow that covered the landscape. Some never ventured outside, leaving the shoveling for another day, and because of that, traffic around the community was not very heavy. One of the busiest intersections on the north side, Broadway and Lindale, saw some vehicles moving slowly about. Most who were out are moving around snow trying to dig out from the storm. We met David Trotter, who was out doing what he could to help others and wishing there were more people out lending a hand.
I wish there was more people out here shoveling the snow so people won't have to walk in the street, get the sidewalks cleared. You need a lot of people just to help, just to shovel snow. If it's for money or not, it's just to help get people out the snow.
Now, David eventually started smiling because he did run into other people who were out doing the same thing he was doing, just neighbor, trying to help neighbor. I tell you, this snowstorm seems to bring out the best in all of us, especially here on the north side. Jeff and Aaron.
Well, we always appreciate seeing that. Thank you so much, Reg.
Well, the wind is making it tough to be outside, and we know that the cold is what we're kind of bracing for next, Mike.
The wind brings the cold, yeah, and we'll make it feel even colder. There'll be wind chills tonight that will be about 10 degrees or 20 degrees colder than the actual air temperatures. So as we go through the overnight, it's about the cold. For the next few hours, it really is still about the impacts of the blowing snow out there. As we go through the 6 p.m. hour, I think we'll see probably enough travel disruptions, I guess is the best way to describe it, that we're going to keep a next drive alert in effect through 6 o'clock tonight. And that's because road crews are still clearing. And frankly, that's part of the alert, right? Like, just be alert that there are plows out there. They're trying their best to get things back down to bare pavement. And we want to give them the operating room that we can. Snow is still blowing around, although visibilities are a lot better now than they were even a few hours ago, certainly better than this morning. And temperatures are still falling. And as we go through the evening hours and temperatures fall below zero, and in parts of central and western Minnesota as cold as the teens and 20s below zero, that's going to make those chemicals that all those plows are putting down as they clear the snow away a little less effective. So 13 right now in the Twin Cities. Temperatures are going to go down slowly at first, but steadily. And then overnight tonight, after midnight, they're going to drop like a rock. And already we're below zero from Fargo to Marshall, sitting at 0 in Bemidji, Grand Rapids at 1. Showing some flurries flying here. I think some of this is actually blowing snow. Some of it may be a few flurries that are falling from these clouds that are really, really low. You can see visibility, a combination of the blowing snow and maybe a few flakes falling, pretty low. Brainerd at 1.75 miles. I mean, this is obviously still travelable, but it's not perfect conditions for sure. Grand Rapids, 1.75 miles visibility. Duluth, 1.5 miles. And then you get down toward the I-90 corridor, St. Cloud and Alexandria, Wilmer at least, 10 miles visibility. That's good. That's about as good as it gets. A little bit of blowing snow in Marshall with a 3-mile visibility there as well. Mention the winds are slowly stepping down, maybe not quite quickly enough for your taste if you've been outside and thrown a shovel full of snow and it's blown right back in your face. I get it. The winds are going to continue to diminish as low pressure pulls away, and as that happens, temperatures are going to fall, and that will make these minus single digits in the metro, minus teens to the west, and minus 20s in parts of the Red River Valley feel by tomorrow morning more like the minus teens to minus 30s. Feels like minus 31 with the wind factored in at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, minus 25 in Grand Rapids, and there's a widespread wind chill advisory for frostbite times on exposed skin in 15 minutes or less in western Minnesota. High temperatures tomorrow with lighter winds and some sunshine at times, especially in the morning. We'll only get to the single digits to around 12 in the metro and some mid-teens across the eastern parts of our area. And then through the afternoon, the clouds come in ahead of our next weather maker. This will not be a big deal, but it will put down between, say, 7 p.m. and about midnight in the Twin Cities, but a little earlier to the south and west and a little later to the north and east, about an inch or less of snow. It's done snowing long before you wake up on Saturday morning, but at that point, again, you'll probably have a little bit of work to do. Anywhere from about an inch to maybe a few communities on the high side, 1.5 inches of light, powdery, fluffy snow. Easy to clean up. but yet just a little more work to do. Weekend looks really nice. I am so happy to share this. We have all this fresh fun on the ground. 28-degree high Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds, which isn't quite to average, but it's close. And Sunday just about at average with mostly sunny skies and 31. We do, though, already need to start talking about the next system. And this one will be a bigger one coming up on Monday. No alerts to tell you about at this point, but we're going to watch it closely. And here's why. It's going to be warm enough to bring likely a mix, but mostly rain the way it looks right now from the Twin Cities on south. And let me show you some estimated rainfall accumulations from Sunday night through Monday. It's possible that we get 1 to 2 inches of liquid in areas south and east of the Twin Cities, or possibly even here in the metro, on top of all the snow that's out there right now. That's just a mess. And so if we need to, and if we see the potential, for example, for some flooding, even if it's neighborhood flooding to develop, we will issue some sort of next weather alert on Monday. Keep that in the back of your mind. We're just trying to get you prepared. Next week will be milder, and so we'll keep an eye on the forecast as we get back into the storm track.
Yeah, precipitation not holding back at all.
No.
All right. Well, we all know, all of us know, that Chris Schaefer loves his pop music, pop culture, all those things. And when he found out one of those guys was coming to town, he wasn't just going to see the person. He got to meet this person.
Yeah, you guys know I'm a total child of the 80s. Gusty hears the 80s music coming out of the speakers and the leathers all the time. Yeah. So imagine my excitement when I heard that Rick Springfield will be performing on Saturday at the Fillmore in downtown Minneapolis. I think it was Rick who gave me the advice before my parents, don't talk to strangers. Good song.
Classic.
From Mr. Springfield. Yeah, Aaron, take notes. It's a good one. Okay, anyway.
More than a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
Are you Jesse's girl?
You're going to hear about Jesse's girl. There's a little story coming up here. But he's going to be performing a special performance for the Rock from the Heart benefit. And I talked with a music and TV star about the fundraiser and a memorable stop he had in Minnesota.
A lot of people know this, but it's fun to remind people that you've done, obviously, television. You're a rock star, all the music videos, the movie Hard to Hold. Now you're a DJ, you're an animal lover, you're a people lover. You're a well-rounded dude.
I've tried to make up for Hard to Hold. Done some other things. Did a movie with Meryl Streep called Ricky and the Flash, and it was on True Detective and Californication and American Horror Story. So I'm trying to make up for Noah Drake, basically.
What is it like being approached for something as cool as this?
It's always great to do shows, but it's always fun to do shows that have, a benefit to somebody outside the audience.
I thought it was a good tie-in because you have songs like State of the Heart, Affair of the Heart. I also think it's cool because Pete Johnson, who was the drummer that will be playing in the warm-up gig for you, which is really cool. It's a David Bowie tribute band. He had heart issues and had to have open heart surgery 6 years ago. They did something great with a terrible thing, and they realized there wasn't a lot of information out there. So now they're doing things like bringing Rick Springfield to town to raise awareness for people that are dealing with heart issues, which pretty much affects all of us, right?
It does. My mom actually died from heart. Oh, she was 96, but that's a pretty good run. But yeah, it was, you only get one.
You're a huge animal lover, and by chance I learned, this is a few years ago, I was doing a news story up in northern Minnesota, Hackensack, Minnesota, not the other Hackensack. And we did a story on this great place called Paws and Claws Rescue and Resort. And I'm playing with this beautiful dog, and one of the workers says, boy, this dog really must have something for meteorologists and musicians. And she shows me this picture of you playing with the same dog I was playing with.
Oh, that's, what was her name? I remember her.
I can't remember the dog's name. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, she was a lifer, right? She'd been there for a long time. She'd been there for a couple of years. They hadn't been able to place her, yeah.
And how does a dog like that, how is a dog like that a lifer? Look how beautiful.
I know. She was so great, too. I think I heard she eventually got rescued. If we have time off, we usually do something like that. It's good for our hearts, too, as well as the dogs.
I love listening to you on my 80s on 8, the working class DJ. What is it like for you? I mean, you cranked out so many hits over the years, and now you're spinning the hits. Is it fun for you?
Yeah, it is. When I can have fun. It's It's an interesting thing. I love hate it. I had a lot of friends actually that are in a lot of the bands I play, so I get to talk about them, and it's not just a guy spinning records. It's usually I have some kind of story about if I know the person, know the band, I know people in the band.
All right, you could just play that all night long behind my weather even. Rock from the Heart features a health symposium. That's going to be tomorrow at the Lowe's Hotel downtown Minneapolis. The Rick Springfield concert is Saturday at the Fillmore. Money from these events goes to support families and connect them with resources and information that can be hard to find. There's still a few tickets left, not much though, because a lot of people love Rick besides me.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Of course I will.
Yes.
That's a great venue. That's a great song, too. I mean, you think about, did he have the biggest career ever? No. But did he have some songs that have been popular for 40 plus years?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't love to have a career like that?
And he did tell me that Jesse was a friend, but he wasn't a real good friend of his,
That's
like
fair.
he says in the song. So he doesn't feel so bad about pining for
Ripping
his
on
girl.
it.
Yeah.
Jesse
All
walking
right.
around bragging still to this
Come on,
day.
Jesse. We'll be right back with more next weather coverage. The other states dealing with tough winter weather right now.
Get help reaching your goals with JP Morgan Wealth Plan, a new tool in the Chase mobile app. Use it to set and track your goals, big and small, and see how changes you make today could help put them within reach. From your first big move to retiring poolside and the other goals along the way, Wealth Plan can help you get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
COVID-19 and being overweight makes it more risky. I'm calling my doctor. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Having even one risk factor, like being over 50, diabetes, or smoking, increases your chances of severe COVID. Taken within 5 days of symptoms, Paxlovid reduced the risk of developing severe COVID-19 by 86%.
Paxlovid may strengthen or weaken other medicines. Taking it with certain medicines may cause life-threatening side effects or affect how Paxlovid works. So it's critical to tell your doctor about all medicines you take, including herbal supplements, because lab tests or changing the dose of your medicines may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have any serious illnesses, allergies, liver or kidney disease, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, are breastfeeding or use birth control. Paxlovid may affect how your birth control works. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, liver problems, and issues with HIV medicines. Other side effects include altered taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, and feeling unwell.
With my asthma, I knew it could be riskier. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist if Paxlovid is right for you.
Online personal styling. What's that?
That's Stitch Fix.
And how can you help me?
We do the shopping for you.
How do you know what I like? And what fits?
You tell us your size, budget, and style.
Wait, is it a subscription?
No commitment required here.
And I only pay for what I keep?
Yep.
I live in denim. Can you send me jeans?
We've got you.
What about shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Style for me? For me? For me? For me.
Always. We'll pick the clothes. You enjoy the great fit. Stitch Fix.
What is it? Pretzels. It's pretzels!
Lunchables with 100% juice built to be eaten.
Minnesota, not the only state dealing with snow right now.
Far from it. This is video from Green Bay, Wisconsin. The National Weather Service says more than 7 inches blanketed the region yesterday, and that is creating hazardous travel conditions, mainly because of the blowing snow that we are also seeing here at home.
Check this out. This video is from Rawlins, Wyoming, where a state trooper was almost, hit by a semi-truck while responding to a crash. Dashcam video shows the trooper running out of the way just in time at the very last second. Here we go again. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
We're told the driver of the semi lost control of his rig and ran off the road and into the median.
Wow, and it might not look like much, but snow flurries are flying in Las Vegas. And some of these states aren't as prepared, of course, for winter storms as we are. So any amount of snow can create some problems.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us. We will be back tomorrow at 4.
Our next weather coverage continues now with the very latest forecast and live reports from all around the state. WCCO 4 News at 5 starts right now.
Now, from Minnesota's most watched station, this is WCCO 4 News.
Thanks for watching WCCO, also streaming on CBS News Minnesota. The snow has stopped falling, and we've even seen the sun come out.
Some will be happy to hear this. Some are disappointed, but the snow totals appear to be on the lower end of what was expected. Even so, with more than a foot of snow at the airport, we are currently in the top 20 snowiest winters so far. Governor Tim Walz is thanking all of the snowplow drivers, State Patrol troopers, and the National Guard for keeping Minnesotans safe. Since Tuesday, his office says there were nearly 3,200 calls to 911. They say all of them were answered within 20 seconds.
We have a team of reporters gathering your stories about getting through the storm. The WCCO Next Weather meteorologists are tracking storm totals and watching what's next, including some frigid temperatures. So let's start with Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Yeah, Amelia, the good news is it's over, as you guys mentioned. Now, the winter storm warning still clinging in a few areas up toward the Duluth area. But for most of us, the winter storm warning, the blizzard warning has been dropped. And this wasn't a hit or miss storm system. It was a hit or get pummeled storm system. I mean, look at some of these snow totals from our next weather watchers. In fact, Diane just chimed in from Waterville, 21 inches, beating out Larry's house in Faribault with over 20 inches. We were forecasting 15 to 20. And as you can see, many people fell into that category, from our next weather watchers to a lot of the reports that were coming in through the National Weather Service as well. So the snow out, the clearing is happening now. The wind is still noticeable, but it will be backing off as we head through the night, and our temperatures are already starting to dip. It's 11 right now in the Twin Cities, and we're shifting gears. Now we have a different kind of advisory. It's a wind chill advisory. Does come close here to the metro area. It could feel like 35 below at times. I'll let you know how long this cold air will be sticking around. But let's go back to meteorologist Mike Augustinak with a little perspective on how all these snowstorms we've been getting are really starting to add up.
Yeah, so we, as of this afternoon with this storm that just came through, Chris, are now at 70.4 inches of snow for the season so far, which is almost 3 feet above where we typically would be at this point in the season. And we only need about 8 more inches of snow to get us into one of the top 10 snowiest seasons on record going back to the 1800s. So we know that as you're cleaning up what's out there that fell last night and this morning, you are certainly going to be lifting those piles a little higher than you would otherwise. And the snowblower is making some pretty impressive piles perhaps at the end of the driveway. Here's a look at your cleanup forecast for the rest of the evening from now through 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The longer you wait, the cooler it's going to be as we fall from 12 at 5 to 8 at 9 o'clock, and wind chills will be hovering below zero that entire stretch. No real reason to wait necessarily because the snow is done accumulating at this point, but as Chris was saying, we're sort of in an active pattern. We've got another slight chance for snow coming up before the weekend starts, and then a different type of storm, one with more warm air that comes in early next week. That's in the next weather forecast in a bit, Amelia.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Well, one of the biggest jobs during the storm is clearing the highways, especially a main thoroughfare like Interstate 35. Jonah Kaplan is live in Owatonna right now, where he was speaking to some plow drivers. Jonah?
Yeah, Frank, more good news down here in southern Minnesota. Last night, of course, we spoke with Steele County Emergency Management, National Guard, wondering if there were going to be any rescue stranded motorists. Today, we learned no. So even though they were ready, they were never actually officially activated. And of course, all of that is due to the teamwork here, especially folks on the road, those crews, state, local, and county. And really, there are 2 reasons, according to officials. One, you listened, you folks at home. That's a very good thing. The warnings were out there, stay off the roads, and mainly you did. Crash numbers were very low, and that also allowed those plows to get through. And again, I talked about the teamwork, those plows moving. First in urban areas, downtown here, where they didn't just have to push the snow away, they had to physically put it in the dump trucks and move it out of the way because of all that snow. Then the MnDOT crews going on I-35, literally making 36-mile circles, 18 miles north, 18 miles south, again and again. One thing we spoke with when we talked with the crews, well, what's worse? Is it the visibility, the wind, or is it the depth of the snow?
Well, they go hand in hand because the visibility is causing drifting, which then causes the depth of the snow. We have no GPS remotes that take us down the road or anything like that. You know, we're just like everybody else. What we can see is what we got.
800 plows for DOT, 1,600 drivers across the state, and obviously coming through in the clutch here because there's a hospital, and coming up tonight on the news at 6, how their storm preparations got it all done so that they didn't miss a beat.
Yep.
Frank, Amelia?
We appreciate all those folks, Jonah. Thank you.
For a lot of people, today was an official snow day, a chance to make it a short day at work and get out and have some fun. Reg Chapman joins us now from North Minneapolis. I think you found some people who are enjoying this, right, Reg?
Oh, that's right, Amelia. Some Northsiders took advantage of having a snow day by staying inside. That's no shoveling, no snow blowing, just taking in all of this beauty. But there were others who got busy. This is the view right now on Fremont Avenue. Several different families working in chorus to clean sidewalks and driveways. For the most part, roads had at least one pass by city snowplows. People moved their cars off West Broadway to make sure those plows had access to the city street. Now, for most, cleaning up after the storm was a necessity, and so was treating yourself to a little fun afterwards. Polo Chin hit the trails of Worth Park after spending the day taking care of others.
We got it done this morning, got the wife out of the drive, and she went to work, and work's closed for me today, so I got a day off. And the kid's 12 years old, so he's doing e-learning at home. Yeah, so I don't have to supervise anymore.
Time for Dad to have some fun.
That's right. Might as well make the best of it.
Now, many folks did decide to make the best of it. As we were leaving Worth Park, other people were pulling up in their cars, bringing out their skis and their snowshoes, saying this is something they deserve after spending a long day of shoveling and snow blowing. And I know they were digging out, doing the same thing across the river in St. Paul, and that's where my friend and colleague Caroline Cummings is with more on what's happening on that side of the river. Hey, Caroline.
Hi there, Reg. Yeah, we've been all over the capital city today, and we found it to be kind of two different stories from the morning and the afternoon. In the morning, it was much more quiet. We went down to Como Park. No one was around. But by later in the afternoon, more people started getting out and about, and that included some time with friends, pets, family members trying to enjoy this snowstorm. So we found kids at Town and Country Club having a blast sledding this afternoon. The perfect weather for that. And the dogs at Highbridge Park, Dog Park, also seemed to love it. Four-legged friends we met ran wild through the snow, and we also found that their owners are fans too.
The really nice weather out here. It's not too cold this time. And our friend Julia, she's visiting from France, so we wanted to help her experience some Minnesota weather and all the extra snow that she gets to shovel in the morning and doesn't experience in France.
How nice. They're making the French exchange students shovel the driveway. So they were having a really fun time down sledding. And if you like cross-country skiing, good news for you. We checked out Como Park. Looked like they laid a trail down there so you can get going and enjoy that really nice weather we heard about coming this weekend. Amelia.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would be happy to hear that, Caroline. Thank you. Well, the storm was a challenge for many parents with kids home from school again. And your back may be sore if you did a lot of shoveling. But MnDOT and the State Patrol say that they were able to do a better job handling the storm because more people listened to warnings and stayed home and off the highways.
The less calls of service we have, the quicker we can respond. So if there's less crashes, less people in the ditch, the ones that are there, it gives us a quicker response time and allows us to help those people faster.
Coming up at 6, we will revisit some of the real snowy horrors that we have had in the recent past. It all makes this week's decision seem a lot smarter. So yeah, the roads were really quiet this morning. Then it sort of picked up later in the afternoon.
Yeah, Derek James is keeping an eye on things. It doesn't seem like there's that many people, well, at least this morning, out there at all.
Yeah, and that's the case here this afternoon, too, compared to a normal day. Roads are steadily improving, but we are still in our next drive alert through 6 o'clock. But no accidents in the metro, so let's take you around and show you some of the conditions. This is Inver Grove Heights, 494 at Blaine Avenue. As you can see, not a lot of cars out there, and at least the ones that are giving plenty of room to everyone around them. And we're back to Minneapolis here. This is 35W at Chicago Avenue. And again, everything looking good there. You see some of these roadways are really drying as well. And so that's the good news. We'll continue to see that improvement. So let's show you some of the crashes that we saw earlier on our MnDOT cameras in the past 24 hours. Slippery ramps, too much for the driver of a semi that jackknife on the ice. And take a look at that. Wow, we saw a lot of drivers losing control, including this one in the Lowry Tunnel, hitting both walls before eventually coming to a stop. It's not the first crash we've seen there. And again, these slick spots that come up. A truck hits a patch of ice here, loses control. And you're going to see one here where it's nearly going to cause another accident as it slides over. And yeah, there's a lot of cars right about there. That other driver was able to get out of the way as it moved off to the right there. So as we take a look at the big picture of the roads, we are seeing more partially covered roads than any point in this storm. And that's, of course, because we've had more opportunities for those plows. You see them in orange here as they still work through the area. We're also starting to see, especially across the Twin Cities north, we're seeing a lot of those roads become normal. But if you are going to be out tonight, even though we're telling you those roads are getting a little bit better, still want to take it slow, still give extra space to everyone else around you guys.
It's amazing how clean the interstates are in the metro area compared to the side streets.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case here. And also just getting out of the neighborhood tomorrow, something to be thinking about in the morning.
All right. Thank you, Derek.
Yep. Well, navigating through a snowstorm can be a mess, as you know, but there's also beauty to be found.
We're going to introduce you to some Minnesotans who are finding the best in today's weather. Go get them both.
And snuggling up under a fresh blanket of snow, we have a look inside the DNR eagle nest where they are preparing for chicks.
Peaceful state. Full plate. Wait, are you my blind date? Dancing crew, trip for two. Now the final interview. Buy or lease. Masterpiece. Inside joke. Artichoke. Gang with Doug. Brand new mug. Come here, kid. Give me a hug. Have you gotten your updated COVID-19 booster? They're designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. Schedule yours at vaccines.gov.
I was always the competitive one in our family, until my sister signed up for United Healthcare Medicare Advantage.
Wow.
Now she's got a whole team to help her get the most out of her plan.
Wow.
With coverage that's better than ever for dental, vision, prescription drugs, and more.
Advantage me.
Can't wait till I turn 65.
AARP Medicare Advantage plans, only from United Healthcare. Take advantage now at uhc.com/Medicare.
Let's go. Okay, go.
It seems like only yesterday you were just a child at play. Life is brief, but when it's gone, love goes on and on.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
This is a Bombas performance sock. For such a small item, it performs big in many ways. Big on comfort, big on performance, big on durability, big on breathability. So whether you're big on running or cycling, big on breakdancing or breaking records, Bombas gives you big comfort for all your athletic pursuits, which we know is no small feat. Get it? No small feet? Ah, you guys are no fun.
You're watching Minnesota's most watched station. This is WCCO 4 News.
Many travelers stranded at MSP Airport were finally able to take off today. The snow and strong winds forced more than 500 planes to remain grounded yesterday. But this afternoon, most flights were scheduled on time. Security checkpoints saw long lines throughout the afternoon, likely because so many people rebooked to fly out today. We caught up with some travelers who are relieved to get on new flights today. And what makes it even better, they're escaping the Minnesota snow.
I can't wait to be in Vietnam where it's warm all the time. It's like the average is 80 degrees all the time. Can't wait.
We've probably been in a group chat texting for the past week, just freaking out, thinking we weren't going to be able to make it. And it's for my friend's birthday, one of my best friends. So she's super excited and wanting us to get there.
If you have an upcoming flight, you should expect delays as the airport gets back on schedule and continues to plow the runways and de-ice aircraft. Even with the delays, cancellations, and inconveniences, we hope you got a chance to step back and look around.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of beauty to soak up in the landscape the last couple of days. As Susan Elizabeth Littlefield found out, the storm has some Minnesotans feeling extra nice.
It's not often in Minnesota that the weather stops us in our tracks. But when it does, it's breathtaking. Beauty and snow abound.
What do you see when you look around?
Beauty. Winter is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Yeah.
I love your attitude, Sandy.
Thank you.
If you're thinking Sandy seems nice, you're right.
This is our neighbors. They're in Arizona for the winter. And we volunteer to do it for them because we're just right across the street and it's just easy to do. So.
But there's some work to it.
Well, there is work to it, but gets you outside. I think it keeps you healthier.
There's no question, snow brings out the beauty of the Minnesota landscape. It can also bring out the beauty in humanity.
We've been neighbors for
22, 23
years.
Long
Yeah.
time. How old are you?
25 years.
Oh, there you go.
At least.
And today, they are partners in clearing the way.
You're helping her out.
Correct.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's
He's
a nice day.
Neighbor. And it's a great day, yes. He does this a lot.
What does it mean to you that your neighbor just helps?
He's the best.
He's been working hard, and his face shows it.
I like the look, Jim.
It's cold out.
What do we call this?
I don't know, Yukon Jim?
Sometimes the worst in weather conditions brings out the best in the human condition.
It's awesome. Yeah, we all work together.
In Blaine, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO 4 News.
Well, the beauty of nature can be seen all around us this winter. There was a snowing morning inside the nest at the Minnesota's DNR's Eagle Cam. The raptors are protecting at least 2 eggs, even if that means snuggling up under a blanket of snow. Parenting duties are shared. You can see one eagle shake off all the snow in order to switch places with the other. The DNR says that the snow provides extra insulation during incubation, so we should start seeing fuzzy-headed chicks near the end of March or early April.
That's insulation. That looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Up to the neck in snow.
When those baby eagles are horrible teenagers, Mom's going to break out that
Bring
video.
that out.
See what I did for you? Look what I went through.
I insulated you.
Yes. Pretty shot, though. And again, it is nice to see some beauty out there because
Definitely.
it's been the beast for many people for the past couple of days.
Well, moving all this stuff this morning is tricky.
Yeah, and you're right. We're running out of places to put things, especially in the cities, because we've been seeing a whole lot of snowfall. We were talking about the possibility of 15 to 20 inches, which would be a mammoth storm, and many of you picked up just that. Apple Valley, 20 inches of snow, and really, it was widespread. You head up to Cambridge, 17 inches. Down in Mankato, 18 inches. Burnsville approaching 17 inches. We saw that in Eagan, northeast of Minneapolis, almost 17 inches. And then we saw some lighter totals, too, like the airport. MSP, 13.1 inches of snow. It really depended on where you are. And guess what? That's the case with every snowstorm that comes through. Not everybody gets the same amount of snow. Bottom line is many picked up over a foot. And that's a hassle to remove. Well, here we go. Clouds are moving out, snow clearly gone, and we're seeing some sunshine here. We figured we'd see that before it set. And the clearing trend, and with the winds slowly backing down, it's going to be cold tonight. In fact, the chill has already begun. It's 11 here in the Twin Cities, 3 in Wilmer, Marshall already below 0 at 2 below. And yeah, there is a bit of a wind out there, and that is causing issues with visibility in areas. We've seen great improvement, no doubt about it, with many up around 10, which is where we like to see it. But still a tough go in Grand Rapids. Brainerd visibility down to about 4 now. We should see improvement as these winds slowly start to back off as we head into the nighttime hours. Be careful if you have to get out somewhere this evening, because we still could be dealing with some blowing and drifting pockets on those roadways. So overnight tonight, we'll fall back to 6 below. We haven't been below 0 here in 3 weeks. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a shock to the system tomorrow morning. Teens below 0 out to the west in many locations. With that hint of wind, we're talking about a feel factor around 16 below here, but it could be worse to the west. And that's why the National Weather Service has a wind chill advisory. We haven't had these in a while either. It could feel as cold as 35 below, again, around the metro, more like the teens below. Bottom line, it's going to be cold to start. The finish isn't that great either, really. 12, that's it for the high. Average is now up in the low 30s, and we're talking about a high around 4 to the west. Good news. Look at the weekend. 28 Saturday, 31 Sunday. That's close to average. The next storm system to come to town could bring a mix of a whole lot of stuff. This is Sunday night. You're enjoying the evening, and here comes some cold rain, maybe a mix just north, and likely a transition to snow by Monday before it finally clears out of here. The good news is I don't think we'll see a whole lot of snow. The bad news is we could see a pretty good soaking of rain. So 12 tomorrow, we do have a chance of some scattered flurries passing by later in the day. Everything would be under half an inch. And there's that beautiful weekend. Soak it up, enjoy it. This will be what, our 4th consecutive weekend in a row that's been pretty nice to get out and enjoy all this new snow. And we'll keep an eye on that sloppy storm coming to town late Sunday into Monday. Again, I'm more concerned about the rain potential than I am the snow with that one.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. We have another check on the roads and driving conditions when we come back.
Here's Nora O'Donnell with a look at what's ahead at 5:30.
Tonight, on a special edition of the CBS Evening News, we're here on the USS Nimitz, one of the largest warships in the world, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier in the Western Pacific, where America's full military might is on display. Tonight, how the U.S. and our allies are preparing as the pressure between the U.S. and China rises. That's all tonight, right here on the CBS Evening News.
I've got moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
It's my moment, so I just gotta say, nothing is everything.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
If you still have symptoms of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or active psoriatic arthritis after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help.
Stand up to your symptoms with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that tackles pain, stiffness, swelling. For some, Rinvoq significantly reduces RA and PSA fatigue.
It can stop further irreversible joint damage, and Rinvoq can leave skin clear or almost clear in PSA. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer. Death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Ubrelvy helps you fight migraine attacks. You won't take a timeout. 1 dose of Ubrelvy quickly stops migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
American families of 4 throw out an average of $400 a year of meat and poultry. Ziploc bags help protect meat against freezer burn. Ziploc. Unlock life. SC Johnson.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it.
I got what I paid for. Not so smart.
Well, there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon. You'll get a new 5G phone on them.
Yep, get the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, a watch, and a tablet on us. That's a value of up to $1,900.
Oh, I love that math. I'm switching.
Switch to Verizon and get the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, watch, and tablet all on us. The network you deserve, the savings you want. Verizon.
This is how Peloton does after hours.
Are y'all excited to be here?
In the early evening with a mug of hot tea.
Damn right.
With the one, the only, me, Cody Rigsby.
All right, y'all ready to dance?
Now, friends, this is a talk show on wheels full of pop culture obsession, celebrity confessions. So pop, lock, and side-eye, boo. This is going to be an LOL.
Are y'all ready?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's get you a live look at your next drive. As the next drive alert continues here until 6 o'clock, what we're seeing right now is just a lot of spinouts and vehicles going off the road, like here in St. Paul. This is 35E northbound at Maryland Avenue. You see that white vehicle there just past the sign. That's over on the side there. And that's really all we've seen this afternoon. No major wrecks really to talk about. We're seeing improving conditions. More and more of the state of Minnesota now in that partially covered, not as much of that completely covered map, although southwest Minnesota, we are still seeing that. But look at the metro area. We're starting to see a lot of green indicated that those roads are now running at normal speeds. We'll continue to watch that and, of course, have an update for you again here at 6.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, about an hour west of the Twin Cities, Hutchinson got just about a foot of snow. People there tell us they expect to be digging out through Friday morning.
In the meantime, they found a great way to take a break. While the temperatures are dropping and the wind is whipping across the fields, some residents paid $7 to escape at the local American Inn. Kids went for a swim, and adults soaked those shoveling muscles in the hot tub. What a great idea.
Fun.
Yeah.
I bet that place is popular.
Well, as we've already seen, this fresh snow sure makes some of our four-legged friends happy.
Yeah, see what these two had in mind when they went out for their walk today.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's making real-time money moves with Merrill. So no matter what the market's doing, he's ready. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
Once more, I need you. All of you.
We're with you, always.
Engage.
Are your windows drafty, broken, or is your energy bill on the rise? Champion is here to help. It's Champion's Big Window Sale, and we're celebrating with buy 2 windows, get 2 free. At Champion, we design new windows specific to your home's needs. Then they are built in our very own factory, installed by a team of professionals, and guaranteed for a lifetime by our best-in-class warranty.
Discover the difference. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call or go online to book your free estimate at championmyhome.com.
Hey there, welcome to The Uplift. I look over at him and he's smiling.
I'm going to remember that the rest of my life.
It's really a miracle that he's with us today.
The Uplift. Stream now on the free CBS News app.
Let's take care of each other. Do a little more good. That's what we want at United Healthcare. It's why we have Dual Complete, a health plan that offers people on Medicare and Medicaid more benefits and support than you'd get with Original Medicare at no extra cost. It's our way of doing a little more good.
So I just got my HelloFresh delivery for the week. I think I am going to make the saucy pork burrito bowl. So everything comes fresh and all the ingredients are pre-measured and it takes 30 minutes to make, sometimes less. I like ordering HelloFresh on weekdays where I know I'm gonna be busy and I just can't be bothered cooking. And there we have it.
Go to HelloFresh.com/meal for 65% off plus free shipping.
Let's take care of each other. Do do a little more good. That's what we want at United Healthcare. It's why we have Dual Complete, a health plan that offers people on Medicare and Medicaid more benefits and support than you'd get with original Medicare at no extra cost. It's our way of doing a little more good.
In a Kinder Bueno world, the Mini are mighty. Crispy wafer and creamy hazelnut filling in an action-packed chocolatey bite. Ah, it's a Mini made for the big screen. When Kinder Bueno Mini meets movie night, life gets bueno.
There is something about the fresh snow that has our four-legged friends feeling a lot of joy.
Yeah, dogs seem to love it. This morning, our Shayla Reeves met Nugget and Peanut in downtown Minneapolis. Victoria Chamberlain had her dogs out for the second walk of the morning. They were pretty cute. You'll get Peanut here digging in the snow all the time. Nugget's part husky, so very used to what's going on there. But they were out having a great time. Our dogs were enjoying it as well. And AJ and Heather liked it too.
Bailey, not so much. I had to shovel a little lane for her to do her business.
Bailey would get buried.
I was going to say, did Bailey even make it out?
You just see like the little tips of her ears at the top moving around under the snow. Yeah, we got whopped in Woodbury. We had about 15 inches at my house. And, you know, the amounts really varied depending on where you live. We saw some as high as 20 and some as low as just over a foot. And listen to me, just low is just over a foot. Yeah. That's how we roll around here. So, yeah, it's going to get cold now, guys. We're talking about a wind chill advisory overnight tonight. Probably feeling like the teens here in the metro in the morning, but could feel as cold as 35 below to the west. Enjoy the weekend. We've earned it. No snow. Temperatures up near average, and we'll keep an eye on that next system coming to town on Monday.
All right. Thank you. And thanks for joining us. Hope to see you back here at 6.
Until then, we'll continue streaming on CBS News Minnesota. Here's the CBS Evening News.